Hi guys, hope you guys are well and thank you for joining me on another video. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about a Hostel Lagarto at Cristo de Barra. At the current moment in time, it's actually being run by a gentleman by the name of Fernando. The reason why I'm doing this video is to elaborate on something that I said a few months ago. Now, a few months ago, I noticed that the problem with Brazil is not the fact that they are lazy. They are not lazy people. The problem is that these people are being abused and used, especially when it comes to work. Companies that generate a good amount of income don't pay the staff well enough. They don't pay the staff enough for them to pay their bills, buy clothes, eat food, and do things. What they will rather do is exploit people. Now, this is not true of every business that I've noticed, but there are some out there that absolutely exploit people. Now, Hotel Lagarto is no different from these ones that I'm speaking of. This gentleman, or should I say this 73 to almost 74-year-old man from Argentina, he uses Brazilians to do the reception, to clean the place, to make sure that it's being run. But he doesn't pay anyone, and he's been doing this for years. When I say he doesn't pay anyone, literally no money goes from his hands, the business, to the people who work there. And I know this because my friend, the person that I've been introducing you to that does the tours, he doesn't get paid. It is absolutely ridiculous that this gentleman is making money hand over fist and he's not paying who works there. What he does is he offers them a place to sleep. So the place is not an actual hotel, it's like a hostel, right? So for people who are backpackers and people like myself who want to do shows by the beach, he will hire this place out or hire out the rooms with the money that he's making, because he sells alcohol and everything else in there. But all he actually offers to those who actually work there is a place to sleep. Now, the place to sleep is under some conditions as well. So I'll give you an example. If he has 10 rooms to rent and you work there, he'll say, you can work here and I'll offer you a place to sleep. However, if I rent out the 10 rooms, you're going to have to sleep on the couch, which is often more than likely in the 3.5 weeks that I was actually going back and forth to this venue, I would always regularly see someone sleeping on the couch. This is exploitation. This shouldn't be the case at all. Bear with me. I'm not saying all of this for anyone to go to Hotel Lagarto and start making trouble for the company, for Fernando. I'm not saying that at all. But what I've noticed is that I have actually met somebody who takes the Berties, right? When I say takes the Berties, who exploits Brazilians. And whilst doing so, he's very ignorant to the fact that people need not only money to get a place to stay so they could be independent, they need money for food. He doesn't feed these people except for breakfast. Except for breakfast. Bread and egg and bread and egg and cheese, if possible. The pancakes that I made and I showed you guys were the most luxurious things they have actually had in a long time. The backpackers that go there, they're very humble people, right? So you get some who are chefs, some people who are backpacking from the interior of Brazil who just want to spend time on the beach. The price that he offers Brazilians and locals to stay there was half the price he offered me because I'm from England. Now, before getting to Brazil, he knew that I was planning on finding a place, finding an apartment that I wanted to rent out, because the first time we met was in September 2022. And when I went there in September 2022, I was with someone and I was staying in a 3-bedroom apartment in the favela for 550 reais. He knew this. Upon seeing him the first time, when I said I was going back home, he would ask me, where is home? You're supposed to stay here. And I'm like, no, I'm only coming to visit, help with the sound system, and to see my friend who actually works here. So I'm not staying here at all. I thought this gentleman was actually being hospitable, but what he was actually doing was trying to make money from me. I learned this very quickly when I went back the second time in February. And upon going back, we'd already discussed me only staying there for a few days and me finding an apartment, and my friend who was still working there helping me to do so. When I landed, it was the last day of Carnival. Carnival was no more. I landed in the middle of the night, 11:30, on the last day of Carnival. This guy still charged me Carnival prices. And what I noticed was I was the only one being charged this Carnival price. Not only was I the only one being charged this Carnival price, he subsequently changed the prices by drawing a line on the prices at the reception and writing a new price and saying, as of tomorrow, this is what you're going to be paying. Why? Because I was from England and all he could see was the British pound. This gentleman exploits not only the locals, also visitors, whilst he still doesn't pay any member of staff anything. I told him, look, I already mentioned to you that I'm not going to be staying here. I'm going to find an apartment and my friend is going to help me to do so. He caused a big commotion, put pressure on my friend and on me, telling me I would never find a place for less than 1,000 riyals in Barra. And I told him, I don't care about Barra. Where I care about is Brazil. When I first met you, I was in Itapua. I was nowhere near Barra. And actually, as a matter of fact, I could go to Jardim de Allah and get a place cheaper for 60 riyals and have my own room. This gentleman wanted me to pay 100 riyals a day, almost 1,000 riyals to sleep on a bunk bed with 15 other people, strangers whom I don't know, no safe, no nothing. Something went missing of mine, and when I reported it to him, he said, this is Brazil. This 73 going on 74-year-old man only cares about the money. The people that work for him, not only have they complained to me about him not paying them, they've also complained to me about him not paying his taxes. Hence the reason why there is no bar. For 4 days of me visiting after getting the suite, for 4 days he had no running water. This is the gentleman that wanted to charge me almost 100 riyals to stay on a bunk bed. This video is not for you to go and attack or say anything to Fernando. All I'm saying is, if you value Brazil or you value Brazilians, don't take your money over there. The only person that is going to be benefiting is him. This is a 73 to 74-year-old man with a 23-year-old girlfriend. He's acting as if he's invincible, right? As if he's better than everybody else. This gentleman's skin is transparent. You know when they're so old, their skin is transparent? This is what he looks like. When I met his girlfriend, I didn't know it was his girlfriend at the time. She was just sitting there for 2-3 days. I'll see her just sitting there, not saying anything. She doesn't speak Portuguese. She only speaks Spanish. So I said, hey, do you want to go out for something to eat? I invited her to go to get something to eat. Little did I know, Fernando saw this. And from that moment on, attack. And I couldn't figure out why until I figured out that, okay, this is his girlfriend. And what I don't understand is, how can you be 73 going on 74 thinking this 23-year-old is actually into you? It's impossible. There's no way she could be into you. This guy is a douchebag. I will say it. It's my channel. It's my opinion. This gentleman likes to exploit everybody that he encounters. And I'll tell you the reason why I'm doing this video. My friend, whom he already knew was going to help me get a place, that helped me to get the suite, he ended up firing my friend with no notice and kicking him out onto the street because I refused to get exploited by him. He did that out of spite. My friend ended up sleeping. I had to share my suite with my friend so that he can have a place to sleep, for the simple fact that this old guy from Argentina kicked him out because I refused to get exploited by him. This is how the level of care that this gentleman has for Brazilians. He doesn't pay anyone at all. Okay, so I have a young face. He assumed I was young. Most people do, so I don't get offended by it. But he was talking to me as if I was a child, right? And I would have to tell him, look, I'm 42 years old. I know things, and I know things, and I'm doing things myself that you cannot comprehend. I asked him himself, when did you buy your first house? How old were you? He said he was 25. I said, okay. I said, did mommy and daddy help? He said, yes. I said, okay. I said, well, I bought mine at 24 and I did it by myself. No mommy and daddy helped me. Everything that this gentleman has done, I can tell that he is not really up there correct in terms of his mentality and the way he thinks. He doesn't actually have any morals, and his mind is not actually correct, right? For the simple fact that you're from Argentina, you came and you bought Hotel Lagarto, and now at your old age, you have ran it to the ground. The bar is no longer operational. All your media equipment is tucked away, as if you are trying to hide something in case of inspection. This is supposed to be a business. In the beginning, initially, before asking him how much was it to rent a Hotel Lagarto, I'd already asked my friend. He told me 1,200 reais is very doable. When I spoke to Fernando directly, when he knew where I was from, he told me 2,000 reais. And I'm like, 2,000 reais is still doable. But really and truly, I know it's 1,200. And the only reason why I accepted that I wanted to go ahead was for the simple fact that my friend was working there. I would use him to do the hosting and I will pay him accordingly. I had a short time frame to do this because of the time frame for me to go to Brazil, advertise, right, and get things done. And moreover, the money wasn't even for me. The money that I would have generated from Hotel Lagarto wouldn't be enough for me to live here. It was going to be for the person I was in a relationship with that lives in Brazil. So it wasn't even for me. This 73 going on 74-year-old man only cares about the money.